Major moves, we going all in, like we got nothing to lose. We making moves, we making major moves, we making moves, we making major moves, we making moves.
Welcome back to my channel. I want to thank you guys for actively deciding to spend time with me. I'm just a guy in a Spider-Man mask, a cool one I might add. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just providing information and content already on the internet, and I just read it and present it to you guys in a way that may reach you or may not reach you. Whatever the reason is you found my page, I'm grateful you're here, and thank you for spending time with me. Let's get into this.
What is up, everybody? I am Mr. Man, and I'd like to welcome you all to my channel. If you're not familiar with this face, get to know it. I come and I bring the heat, and I drop a lot of knowledge in regards to the banking industry, in regards to partnerships. I follow the top cryptocurrencies that are compliant and adhere to policy and framework, and love policy framework to begin with. To give you guys an update, recently somebody had reached out to me from a company and asked if I would be an affiliate partner of theirs. I said, you know what, this sounds like a really good idea. Maybe something good to do, an easier way to make some cash on the side. So I spoke to my partner about it, and we started chatting back and forth. And it got to this point where I was like, you know what, I don't know much about this company. So I started researching into them and learning a bit about them. And the things that I had begun to find do not seem desirable and conducive for a partnership, for me at least. And the next person might want it, but not I. So after finding what I had found out, I had asked this individual, do you have your operating certificates? Do you pay out in compliant stablecoins? The individual stated that their operating certificates to operate within the FCA are currently on their way to them. So in a sense, they're in the mail. Yeah, okay. And then they pay out in USDT. That to me is a big no-no. If you are a regulated company or entity, you're not using USDT. Two giant flags that stood out. Where this company states and claims that they operate, they do not operate there anymore. There is no name that states that they are a listing individual within that company at all. Their company isn't even on the side of the building anymore. On Google, it says this company is temporarily closed right now. So a lot of big red flags had stood out to me. And I said, you know what, I kindly appreciate that you reached out to me and like the content that I bring and would like me to help get your name and your project off the ground and out. But come back and speak to me when you have your operating licenses and you're paying out in regulated stablecoins. Aside from that, I'm not selling nothing to anybody. Not a thing. I'm not trying to get none of you guys wrecked. I'm not trying to be the face of any of that bull crap at all. I'm here to help you guys make money by helping myself make money and teaching you guys what I learned. Like I said, I bring the heat. So let's start off. Today, this came out today. Project Mandala, shaping the future of cross-border payments compliance, along with the Reserve Bank of India, Bank of Korea, Bank Negara in Malaysia, and the MAS Monetary Authority of Singapore. So I'm going to take a cool angle from this and get a POV from all of the different banks involved here. And then we're going to finish off with the Bank of Korea. That's going to be our final. So this might be a longer than usual video. Project Mandala explores the feasibility of encoding jurisdiction-specific policy and regulatory requirements into a common protocol for cross-border use cases such as foreign direct investment, borrowing, and payments. Disparate policy and regulatory frameworks between different jurisdictions are among the chief obstacles to smooth and efficient cross-border payments. They contribute to the regulatory compliance burden across the payment chain, increase the time for cross-border transactions, and introduce uncertainties among stakeholders. Project Mandala, POC, run by BIS Singapore Center, the RBA, the BOK, and the BNM, and the MAS, with the collaboration of financial institutions, seek to ease the policy and regulatory compliance burden by automating compliance procedures. That's cool. Providing real-time transaction monitoring and increased transparency and visibility around country-specific policies. That'll be interesting to see how they pull this one off. In doing so, it aims to address key challenges identified during Project Dunbar, which developed an experimental multiple central bank CBDC, or in a sense, the MCBDC, MBridge, Project MBridge, which involved the MAS as well, Monetary Authority of Singapore. The envisioned compliance by design, Dunbar, I had something on that. I'll have to get back to that one. Could enable a more efficient cross-border transfer of any digital asset, including CBDCs and tokenized deposits. It could also serve as the foundational compliance layer for legacy and nascent wholesale or retail payment system. The measures could include quantifiable and configurable foreign exchange rules, as well as AML and CFT measures. Project Mandala aligns with the FSB 2023 priority actions for achieving the G20 targets for enhancing cross-border payments in the area of promoting an efficient legal, regulatory, and supervisory environment for cross-border payments while maintaining their safe, secure, and integrity, or safe security and integrity. Okay, so that's from the BIS. Here we are at the MAS now, Monetary Authority of Singapore. BIS and central bank partners to explore protocols. Here they are again. Let's see if they say anything different. So the project explores the feasibility of encoding policy and regulatory requirements into a common protocol. Singapore, October 5th, the Bank of the BIS and central bank partners today launched Project Mandala, which explores the feasibility of encoding. Okay. This is my first time reading all these things. I pulled them all up after some research. I want to show you guys a holistic point of view here. So, the spirit, policy, and regulatory framework between different jurisdictions are among the chief obstacles to smooth and efficient cross-border. Okay. It looks like it's the same thing here. They just broke it down into individual steps. Okay. So they say literally the exact same thing. Let's go to here. This is in Korea. BOK, BIS, other central banks, whoever the hell they are, seek to launch cross-border transaction project. Well, shit, this came out tomorrow. Today is only the 5th for us. It's tomorrow for them. So this is technically out tomorrow. South Korea Central Bank said Friday that along with the Friday shit. I'm only in today's only Thursday for me. That along with the bank, the BIS, and other central banks, whoever they are, it will launch a project together to automate compliance procedures and offer real-time monitoring in cross-border transactions. Real-time monitoring. Okay, in a statement, the BOK and BIS launch a project dubbed Mandala, which explores the feasibility of encoding jurisdiction-specific policy and regulatory requirements in a common protocol. Blah 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 blah. Here's where we go. Okay, so here we are now at Bank of Negara in Malaysia. So, Project Mandala looks to do this stuff here. It's all the same. It's all the same. It's all the same. Okay, so here we go now. Here's this, and I want to show you guys one more PDF after this. So this is how CBDCs will be implemented. For all you guys wondering, how are they going to do it? How are they going to get it out there? How are they going to get us on CBDCs? Let's find out. So, incentivizing consumers to use CBDCs over other digital payments methods. CBDCs can be incentivized for consumers in several ways to encourage its adoption over other digital payments methods like UPI. Security and trust. So this is what the central banks are telling other banks to do. Highlight the CBDC's backing by the central bank, emphasizing its security and reliability. We're the best. Come on. Trust us, bro. Consumers tend to trust governments. See? Trust us, bro. Who trusts the governments? Government-backed currencies. What the hell is a government-backed currency? Like, it's an air token. It's an airdrop. Which can be a significant incentive, especially in regions with concerns about digital payment security. So they're talking about North America's, Canada's, US, Europe, UK, Japan, the G7 essentially. Lower transaction costs. This is what they're going to do now. Lower transaction costs. Promote lower transaction fees or no fees for the CBDC transaction. Reduce costs for using CBDC can make it more attractive option for consumers compared to other payment methods that may have associated fees. So be on the lookout for that. The term is BOLO. Be on the lookout. BOLO these low fees. Rewards. You're going to see a lot of rewards right now. I've had several emails and several mailings come in from banks saying, oh, take a sum of your debt, whatever it is, from a high interest yielding credit card and move it over to this one here and pay 0% for 12 months. After that 12 months, you know what happens? That 0% raises back up to 22%. Like any other standard credit card. What they want is they want the money. They want you guys to be dumping money into these things. Lower fees, reduced fees, no fees. Rewards offer incentives such as rewards for using CBDCs for specific transactions. I went to McDonald's the other day. Not that I eat that crap. But I went to McDonald's the other day because I wanted a breakfast sandwich. I wanted the bagel. What is it? The BELT. Bacon, egg, lettuce, and tomato bagel on the everything bagel. And I paid in cash, and they were saying, if you use the McDonald's app on your phone, I don't got it, but if you use the McDonald's app on your phone, you get a discount and you get points or something along those lines. So that's 2 for the price of 1 they're giving you. They're giving you a discount and they're giving you points to get you back in there again. McDonald's, I believe, is part of the Faster Payments Council as well. So these rewards can include cashbacks, discounts, or loyalty points, making CBDCs more appealing to everyday spending. They want you spending. They want you using their products. Again, it's all about the acquisition cost. Watch when the next down in the trend on the charts comes. When that down trend comes, you're going to see the printing of money from the central banks, giving them out to the government, so the government can give out those stimmy checks. Dismiss this. So the government can give those stimmy checks out. Integration with government services. Here we go. Integrate CBDC with government services such as tax payments or social benefits. Just talking about that, and now they're going to bring it up. This makes CBDCs more convenient for consumers as it becomes an essential part of their financial interactions with the government. It's all about establishing and building trust. That's what it is. Merchant adoption. Encourage merchants and businesses to accept CBDC payments by offering them incentives. The freer it is, the better it is what they're selling you. They're selling you a dream, such as lower transaction fees or faster settlement times. When consumers see widespread acceptance, they are more likely to use CBDCs, right? The herd moves together. The flock, they do everything together, right? Remember when the beer flu came around? What's that drink? The Corona came around. We're looking for herd immunity. Herd immunity. Listen to the name. Herd. Sheep's, herd of cows, they all move together. Somebody runs. No one knows why that animal is running, but they're going to run with it because they're like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to get the hell up out of here because that guy's running. So I'm going that way. Don't follow the sheep. Don't follow the sheep. Do not follow the sheep. Educational campaigns. Run educational campaigns to raise awareness about the benefits of CBDC, including its security, speed, and ease of use. Educated consumers are more likely to adopt new payment methods. You watch when Christmas rolls around, they're going to be pushing this out now. You know, you can save this or get a discount on here, and you can, you know, get a discount for this thing. Christmas is coming around now. You got to shop, and we're going to have Amazon sale, and we're going to have a Etsy sale, and we're going to have a whatever sale they are, Walmart sale, Target sale. Whatever company still exists, there's going to be a sale of some sort. Because a lot of them are part of the Faster Payments Council. I believe Uber's on there too. Interoperability. Ensure that CBDC can be seamlessly integrated with existing payments systems like UPI. Universal Payment. What is it? Interface. There we go. Where the heck? Sorry guys, I lost where I was. Okay, making it easy for consumers to transition without disruption. They won't even know they transitioned. They won't even know. That's what it means, without disruption. They won't even know. So QR code and CBDC interoperability is the right step in the right direction. By addressing these factors, central banks and governments can incentivize consumers to adopt CBDC as a preferred digital payments method, gradually shifting away from other alternatives. So here's a way for them to, here's their plan essentially. Okay. Here's the regulator. I can't even zoom in. But there's their plan. This is the RCBDC main roles involved in the RCBDC: currency involver, currency account issuer, payment sender, payment recipient, app provider, regulator, check identities. Okay. Here we go. Main roles involved in the wholesale CBDC. Okay. Value guarantee infrastructure. Feel free to pause and read these too. I implore you guys to pause and read these things, because these are going to affect you one way or another. And if you get caught in there, you don't see it coming, you too can get caught if you don't see it coming. So know the game. Play within the game. Play within the game that they're bringing to you. You don't have to be stuck on it, but understand what's coming so you can be able to play within it and then jump out when you're done it. Okay, expectations from UPI 3.0. Woo. Ease of integration of UPI with many more apps. Tax benefits, here they go. For merchants and retailers. Innovation to further accelerate rural adoption. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so I told you I had something for you about Korea. Let me get out this. We saw that Korea was one of the players here. South Korea was one of the players in this new Project Mandala. So this here is a relic I have. I want to bring this up. Policy framework for blockchain and digital assets in Korea. I don't think a Korean speak like this, but this is my best Korean accent. It could probably get better, but for right now, it's my best one. Not that I have another one. GBC, Ripple, Oxford, Metrica. So let's see what the TOC has to say. Abstract, the emerging blockchain ecosystem. Introductory. The preface. Okay, blockchain digital asset capital markets ecosystem. GVC, Korea's GMAP. Okay, use cases, cross-border payments using RippleNet. Let's go. Let's just jump right into it. Revolutionizing cross-border payments. And we were just talking about that, right? With Project Mandala, cross-border payments, and having security built right into it. Well, let's just see what it is again. Let's go back here. Hold on, let's just see what it is they're building right back into it again. I liked how this one was set up. Proof of concept, M-Bridge with the M-CBDC, multi-CBDC in similar to a RippleNet style. I'm not suggesting it is or it's not, but from my perspective, this is what it sounds like to me. Okay, so let's go back. Right there. Okay. Blockchain technology has been a promising breakthrough, demonstrating the potential to transform many sectors of the Korean economy. However, for any technology, success is based on its use case, an ability to solve real-world problems and to provide benefits to consumers and end users. A variety of use cases have emerged as blockchain and digital assets technologies have matured. They have matured. We highlighted a Korean M&A use case in page 14. Here we provided another. Cross-border payments are costly, full of friction, slow. Much of this friction is the result of processes followed in cross-border payments. Heretofore, well, the domain of incumbent banks, referred to as correspondent banks, a definition cited by the BIS, defined correspondent banks as the provision of current or other liability accounts and related services to other financial institutions. So when they say liability, they're not talking about it as a bad thing, but it can be a bad thing. Depends on how you view it. Like a vehicle can be a liability or an asset, depends on which side of the spectrum you're on. If you are just a regular consumer, you look at it as a liability. It's losing you money, it's not making you money. If you're an investor and you're flipping cars or using it like eToro and it's making you money, then it's an asset at that point. Use the executive execution of third-party payments and trade finance, as well as its known cash clearing, liquidity management, short-term borrowing, and investment needs, in a particular currency. Okay. RippleNet, the cross-border payment solution offered by Ripple, connects hundreds of financial institutions around the world via a single API, which makes transferring money faster, cheaper, and more reliable. Did that not just sound like what the BIS was talking about? What the Monetary Authority of Singapore was talking about? What the BOK was talking about? What the Bank of Korea was talking about? It also helps to reduce and even eliminate the need to pre-fund accounts with an ODL, on-demand liquidity, also known as a Ripple payment now. A service that uses the digital asset XRP to source liquidity during cross-border transaction as an alternative to traditional funding mechanisms. RippleNet customers can use XRP to bridge two currencies in a matter of minutes. It's not even minutes, it's seconds. Ensuring payments are quickly sent and received in local currencies on the other side of the transactions. The digital asset XRP is ideally suited for global payments because it's quicker, less costly, more scalable, and sustainable than any other digital asset. There we go. It's like the same model they're talking about here. Now here's the taxonomy, the digital asset taxonomy, comparing different approaches. In order to reduce regulatory uncertainty and provide clarity to the legal character of digital assets, it's important for regulators to develop a taxonomy of digital assets. It is essential to note that there is no single or generally recognized definition of digital assets at present, and we suggest that such assets should not be solely defined relative to a specific technology, for example, cryptography. They will be defined by their use case and what they are. All right? Payments crypto, remittance crypto, security crypto. I'm sure there's plenty others, I just can't think of them right now. But for the purpose of regulation, should instead fall under a broader heading such as digital assets, and subsequently classified depending on a particular economic function and purpose they serve. This is a burgeoning literature on the taxonomy of digital assets. However, the equivalent of a Linnaean system has not emerged. Many classifications are entirely based on technological considerations which deal with how the assets are operated and managed rather than their economic purpose and function. Therefore, we would encourage regulators to develop a taxonomy based on the functionality and economic purpose of the digital asset as the basis of taxonomy. So table 1 sets up the various primary use cases of digital assets, acknowledging that digital assets may have multiple use cases. All right, they could be one thing and then become something else later on. Let's just keep going down. The FCA in the UK has provided a decree of clarity by categorizing digital assets based on their intrinsic structure as well as their designed use, which is outlined in the FCA guidance on crypto assets guidance in July 2019. So here we are with the mass again now. Okay. Finally, the Monetary Authority of Singapore has taken a similar approach where digital assets are regulated either as digital payments token under the Payments Service Act, or the digital tokens which constitute capital markets products and are regulated under the Securities and Futures Act. Weren't we just reading about the MAS with the BIS and the BOK and the Bank of whatever they were, Nagala, Nasara, the other banks, as the other article said, and the other banks. So, here we go. So for payments token that enable faster and more efficient transfer than traditional payments system. A store of value, a digital store of value. I still haven't figured out what store of value Bitcoin stores, because it's not a monetary store of value. Clearly it's not. It's too unstable. There's too many uncertainties with that. However, you can use Bitcoin or generate Bitcoin by mining Bitcoin by using renewable energy. So now Bitcoin essentially meets the new agenda at that point, the green agenda, by using renewable energy to mine for Bitcoin, as opposed to those giant industry warehouses of computers using up all the energy. So there's I want to say there's several agendas going on here. There's an agenda for XRP as the payment. There's an agenda to attack Bitcoin, even though it does have a use case. It does have a use case. I find myself in different arguments and battles. Not like I care about arguing and battle. I mean, your investment is your investment. Do with these things what you want. What I tell you is neither here nor there. I'm just here to educate, not here to make a decision for you. You have USDC. They are now regulated in the US and in Europe under the FCA with MiCA. MiCA has to do with stable coins, so it's one part of it. Filecoin provides users with exclusive access to products and service. Self-executing, customizable contracts. Solana. UCX, no idea what that is. Tether's not regulated. Tether is not regulated and will never be regulated. Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, okay. Solana, I can see being regulated. Potentially. The other ones at the bottom, no idea what those are. Nurturing blockchain in Korea. Let's keep going down. I don't want to see that. So here's the process: research only, proof of concept, pilot, and then production. So here we go. They got 30% proof of concepts at that point. Capital markets. Policy recommendations. As highlighted in this paper, smart regulation that unlocks value from financial innovation while at the same time is risk-based is eminently achievable. An agile and risk-sensitive regulatory framework for digital assets and a clear set of rules of the road that enables, so you heard that? A clear set of rules of the road. A clear set of rules of the road that enable innovation to flourish will lay a strong foundation for a vibrant digital asset ecosystem to take root. With that in mind, we propose the following recommendations for developing the digital asset ecosystem in Korea, which will also help provide clarity to the legal character of digital assets in Korea. Interesting that Ripple has the ability to play these roles. It's interesting how they can spend over, $200 million on a court case? Dogecoin couldn't. Dogecoin could not do that. Tether could probably print their way through that and then collapse right afterwards. But there's not many companies that can do that. And then for the individual such as yourself and myself to look at that and say that's a scam based on what? I'm not saying it's not a scam. I'm not saying it is a scam. I'm just saying based on what? If you have the audacity to call it something, good, bad, or indifferent, just provide the research to back up what you're saying. Aside from that, la 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 la. Adopt a digital asset taxonomy aligned with global best values. I'm going to finish off this section here, and I'm going to call that a day. We're looking at 29 minutes already and 50 seconds. The definition of virtual asset under the specified Financial Information Act is rather broad, as it covers a digital token with economic value that is digitally tradable and transferable. In line with global practices, we recommend that there be a clear distinction between payment tokens, utility tokens, and security tokens as outlined below. Payments or exchange tokens to describe non-fiat digital assets that are used as means of exchange and have no rights that may be enforced against any issuer. To describe non-fiat native digital assets. So they got a backing of some sort. So their payment, they got a backing of some sort. Sounds like a stable coin. It would be a stable coin. Because fiat is, this is a stable coin is what they're essentially talking about. This, to describe non-fiat native digital assets that are used as a means of exchange and have no rights, that may be enforced against any issuer. Utility tokens to describe those digital assets that create access rights for availing services or a network, usually offered through a blockchain platform, and security tokens to describe tokens that create rights mirroring those associated with traditional securities like shares, debentures, security-based derivatives, and collective investment schemes. Such a taxonomy will make it very clear where digital assets and related activities lie on the risk spectrum, which mitigates the potential for developing and investing in technology that is unregulated. Unregulated technology. Implement a risk-sensitive digital asset regulatory framework. I hope you guys aren't falling asleep. This is like, you don't get many people that read this stuff to you. They'll read it themselves and then say, this is what I got from it, and then give you their bias in it with the way they understand and interpret things. And then they will give you that, and that becomes your bias now. I'd rather just read it to you, and then you can create your bias based off of what we read, and then you can also choose to use my interpretation if that makes sense to you. The definition of a virtual asset service provider under the specified financial. Did I read this? Similarly broad, encompassing virtual asset trading service providers. Virtual asset safekeeping and administration service providers and virtual asset digital wallet service providers engaged in the purchase and sale, exchange and transfer, safekeeping and administration, or intermediation and brokerage of virtual assets and virtual asset transactions. In practical terms, this means that any solution incorporating digital assets could be considered a virtual asset service provider, or a VASP, virtual asset service provider. So if you're doing something in crypto, buying and selling, trading, holding, exchange, you are considered a VASP, and you will have to now acquire particular licenses to be able to buy, sell, hold, trade crypto assets or digital assets. Therefore, be liable to register and report to COFIU, whatever that is, even if the solution poses minimal risk. The lack of risk-sensitive regulatory framework may act as a disincentive to innovation in the sector. In addition to the recommended taxonomy for digital assets, policymakers and regulators in Korea should also consider an appropriate regulatory framework for digital assets in order to provide certainty and encourage innovation in the sector. We recommend that the regulatory framework should align with the following broad principles outlined below. I don't think I'm going to get into this. I think that was a good overview of Korea, the new project Mandala in the RBA, Reserve Bank of Australia, in South Korea, which we just looked at here. MAS, Monetary Authority of Singapore, the BIS, Bank of International Settlements, and Bank of Nagara, BON, Bond. Hope you guys got something out of this. Love you all. I will see you on the next one.
Major moves. We going all in. Like we got nothing to lose. We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves.